Welcome to the Wake.Show. As everybody knows, a show needs an intro. This is that intro. I am Fisher, your host, featuring Chris McCarty. He'll be around about 12:15. Happy Friday, everybody. Good morning and welcome to the Wake.Show. My name is Chris Fisher. How you doing, Russia? How you doing, Alexander? Nice to see you. Robert, how are you doing today? Welcome to what is likely going to be I have hope. That's why I keep saying likely, and I keep dragging you along with whatever's next for the Wake.Show, is because there's a part of me that goes, all right, this is going to be the last show of the Wake.Show. But there is, I'm holding out hope that the Wake.Show continues in one way or another. So let's focus on the random conversation generator as we get into the show today. Let me share, and for those of you, invite some friends if you'd like. Like I said, Chris McCarty will be in at about 12:15. Cords is going to stop by as well. I'm going to see if I can pipe in Johnny Torres. He is going to see if he can swing by the studio, or we'll try to get him in via Messenger as well. All right, so the likes and the shares. How are you guys doing today, by the way? How was your week? Are you looking forward to getting into the weekend? I'm a little, there's a part of me that wants to go, hey, I go on vacation after this, but there's no such thing. The show is going on hiatus. I will probably be working. There's been a disturbance in the force. So here's how I thought the next 2 weeks were going to play out. Next week, I would decompress as much as I can, but I will still be working half the week at night. But during the day, not have to worry about the show or anything like that. And just, John Sweeney Jr., by the way, you crack me up, man. I love your feed. You guys need to become friends with John Sweeney because, and a lot of you guys are funny. John, Elliot, Steve, you guys post funny memes and funny, short commentary. I like that a lot. Kimber, your week was challenging. Chris, how are you, sir? Looking forward to seeing you when you get here, sir. Chris McCarty will be joining the show just a little bit. All right. I need to share. So today we'll hit a couple of things that are in the news, but basically we're just gonna talk. We're gonna see where. Come on, man, a little sharing. do. Well, maybe not. Are we still online? Why did I just disappear? Well, maybe I won't be sharing today. All right, so the random conversation generator. With kids heading back to school next week, do you have any favorite summer memories from your childhood? Places that you would visit every summer, or maybe there was one place one summer that you would visit. A lot of you went to camp. I didn't go to camp as a kid. I never went to any camps. There's a couple reasons. We were not the richest people in the world. My father, a great provider, as a mailman, took care of 4 boys. And, a full family of 6 and 4 boys that were eating them out of house and home by the time they hit their teen years. But the second reason that because I think we had contemplated camp one year when I was little, but I wet the bed until I was like 10. So you can't, if you're a bedwetter, you can't go to camp unless you go to bedwetting camp. Because if you're a bedwetter and you go to camp, you're going to end up killing yourself probably by the end of the summer. You will be the butt and the focus of ridicule. One time there was a sleep. I was in the Cub Scouts. Did you ever do any of that stuff? Webelos. I think it was a Webelo actually. And so this is at the time with my family. We had a camper. We had a camper type thing. A truck that had the camper inside the truck. That one of those things. So my dad took that, and that's where I slept for that particular camping excursion because, well, I was a bedwetter. The stuff you learn on a Friday here at the Wake.Show. Okay, well, for whatever reason, I am not going to be able to share the show today, so I immediately go, there's a reason. The universe doesn't, whatever. You're supposed to focus on something else, not sharing the show today. And it's just technology. John, no, still there. All right, so I do have it before we get into the news of the day and the Wake.Show, because, like I said, I'm holding out hope that this is not the last Wake.Show. It just might be. But I will tell you my vision for this, if it goes forward. I guess I'll give you a couple of scenarios as the way I see it and how this could possibly move forward. Otherwise, this might be the last day. We say goodbye, revamp some things, relaunch the show in 2 weeks, and and it'll just be a little bit different. Whatever. Don't even worry about that part. So, do I go back to the initial complaining at the beginning of the show when I'm talking about, thank you, John, I appreciate it. Looking forward over the next 2 weeks, I was at one point looking forward to the next 2 weeks because I figured week number 1, next week, would be decompressing as best as I can, even though I wouldn't be able to do what I wanted to on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday because I have to work that night and stay decompress the best I can next week. Just walk away from all of this because we've been working hard, going back to last November. I have put everything into this. And so I need to step away from it for a few minutes and kind of let it wash over me, sift through some stuff, and in order to, I think, move on with the next show, right? So I'm thinking that'll be next week. And then as we get into the week after that, week 2, we'll start putting together all the elements for the new show, marketing, logos, whatever we need, right? Well, then Monday of this week, right? I get a call, and half my income is now possibly in jeopardy, my monthly income. So, and I'm not going to go down, the details in that, but half of my monthly income is in jeopardy. So instead of thinking, wow, okay, I just got to make it through this week and get into vacation, and then figure it out from there. Now, the next 2 weeks, I'm dreading. Because now all I can imagine is that not only will I not get the rest that I wanted to get walking away from the show for 5 effing minutes, now I'm going to have to spend all my time focused on other things to try to shore stuff up. Now, it may not play out that way, and things may... I know, Chris, I know things will be fine in the end, and this is all you're exactly right. But when you're in the middle of it, and you start to think it's a universal thing, you start to think it's a God thing, because going into the week, starting on Sunday, a day that I finally felt like I got some rest, I get up from a nap on Sunday, and my back is crushing me and has not lit up all week long. I didn't sleep 1 minute on Tuesday night. Didn't get to bed till after 2. So on and on. So this week just got worse and worse and worse as it went on. Don't get me wrong. There's some upsides to this week. Had an audition on a Tuesday. I'm very excited about. Who knows what's going to happen? I'm not down. I'm not going. It's one of the, how it is. When you are hoping for certain things to play out the way that you need them to play out, and they don't. So, Evan Hannity goes on vacation. Oh, well, here's the thing, man. When you're a sole proprietor or LLC or whatever it is, and you're still trying to get to a place where you can sustain a certain kind of a living. And you're not there yet. There are no vacations. I haven't had a vacation in at least 3 years, if not longer than that. I might not have had a break from it since I got fired, since 2013, and those next 4 months or something like that, I just turned everything off, tuned everything out. But still, it's still not a great vacation because you're also mired down. You're bogged down. You are wallowing in the anxiety of a unforeseeable future during that time. So it's been a while since I've been able to just go somewhere and relax. And that's not going to happen anytime soon, but it's okay. Listen, man, this is the grind. This is, in a sense, this is what I've chose. I could buckle down and put together resumes and fill out application after application until I found another corporate job and then tried to see if I can fit my crazy into what they're doing. But I've chosen, I can't. I've tried. Let me head out in this direction and see if I can figure things out. So, although it sounds like I am complaining that I'm not going to, which I guess I am. I'm sitting here on a sore back, just wanting to, just feeling beat up, exhausted, beat up, and like I need a vacation. And so, to me, it is an awesome challenge because I thought I was going to get this break. And as a matter of fact, I'll even be back here next Tuesday because there's something else that I do in coordination with Bake More Pies and Cords and stuff here. And that's come up with, or use what we're doing to come up with original live social media content, web content for various clients. So I get an email yesterday going, hey, can you do this next Tuesday? Now, John, you might say, well, listen, man, you need to send that email back and go, I'm going to be on vacation next week. Can we rebook the following week? But again, my money, my income is in jeopardy right now. I can't take those chances. That product that I'm telling you about right now is still a fledgling, just something that we built at the beginning of the year. And so I don't have the luxury of going, hey, we're not going to be able to do it next week. No, this is a new client. I need to get him in here and knock this thing out of the park for him. So there is no vacation in my near future. You know what it is? I just need to wipe it out of my head. Just wipe it out of my head. Because that's what it is. I'm hung up and I thought I was going to get a break. But I'm not. And so this is a tantrum. This is an adult tantrum. Without it getting to the level of narcissistic rage, and so yeah. So now this is the universe teaching me you thought you could hang your hat on something. What have I been trying to teach you since day one? Stay in the moment and don't think you can control anything. All right. So instead of being down about not getting time off over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to switch that around and get excited because the reason that I'm not going to have time off, half the reason, is because there are some very exciting opportunities right around the corner. And then I will not focus on the other half, which is maybe half my monthly income will be going away sometime soon. Life. All right, let's talk about some childhood memories. Robert, trails in life make you stronger. And trials, I can't even read them. How about I do this so I can see it? Trials in life make you stronger and wiser. You're so right, Robert. You're so right. And so my immediate question back is, how many trials do you have to go through? But then the answer immediately pops back and goes, until you figure it out. Until you quit making the same decisions and mistakes over and over again, some people feel. Maribel, I totally understand today work has me down because people are all of a sudden dumb. And Nikki, good morning. Good morning to everybody, and thank you for joining us today. Chris McCarty will be in a few minutes. Let's talk about, so thinking back, do you guys even have, like to me, I do not have a good childhood memory, and that bothers me sometimes that I don't have a lot of, I don't know why. But I think I've told you this before. I'll get together with friends and they'll go, oh, you remember that time we did this, 14 years old, that kind of stuff, or 18 years old. You remember we did this? No, it sounds like we had a great time, but I do not recall it at all. But I will say this. My childhood summer memories is going to the same place year after year after year. And it was the perfect place for us. And that was the Fisher Farm. The Fisher Farm in Western New York. At its height was, from what I understand, I think it was a 1,000-acre farm or 1,000 head of cattle. I don't know. It was big. A dairy farm. And every summer, that's where my father was from. So that was basically going back up there to visit all the family, pack up whatever vehicle we had, station wagon or a van or that camper truck thing, and head up there. And us little, Florida crackers would be able to run around a farm. And looking back on that, it's so amazing. And all the trouble that we got ourselves into, like I thought I was saving some birds, I don't know what I was doing. And so there was a nest in the barn. So I knocked the nest down and then gather up all the birds. I'm probably, 6, 7, 8, something like that. Gather up all the birds. Probably, maybe not 6. That might have been too young for us to be alone in the barn. and head into the house, and everybody starts freaking out. Like, what are you doing? I mean, I don't remember. I just remember all of a sudden there was chaos, and they took the birds, put them in a basket with some hay, hung it back up, and then told me that these birds are probably going to sit there and die because now they've been touched by human hands, and the mom's not going to want to have anything to do with them. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. Not really. Somewhat. Because also around that same time period, I was allowed to have a slingshot. I got a slingshot, like a really nice one, you know? They had the little band, you know, the thing that came on your forearm here. And, But I wasn't allowed to have it back in Ocoee, here in Florida. I was only allowed to have it summers when we're up at the farm. And so I was sitting there shooting some rocks, and all of a sudden I notice a bird sitting in the back of a hay wagon thing. It's where the bales of hay would get shot into. And I mean, this bird, it was across the street. I mean, at least 50 yards away, if not 75, 100. Like in my mind, it feels like it's 100 yards away, but I'm sure if I went and paced it today, it's probably more like 50. And it was a flat stone. Like I knew there's no way you're going to hit this bird. But in my head, I did think I could. And I pictured the actual rock curving and everything. I recall. And so I pulled, just go and sent it off way to the left. And sure enough, that rock started to curve way back to the right. And in a shot that you could not duplicate in a million years, boom, the bird falls off the back of that. And in that moment, that was the last time ever. Well, see, you could go back to that moment, and if you caught me and lit me up and said, oh, this is a future psychopath or whatever. But the fact is, that moment taught me, that moment of me killing something else taught me that didn't feel good. I felt like complete crap, and never did anything like that ever again. But like I said, it was like one of those chance things, and that's what happened there. So those are some of the memories coming from my childhood. But there's a lot of positive ones too. By the way, fast forward, my aunts and uncles told me that those birds lived. The ones that they hung back up in the basket, they said that the birds lived and they were fine. And I was like, all right, cool, awesome. I don't feel so bad. Years later, I reflected back on it. Went, I wonder if they lied to me. I wonder if they were just trying to make me feel good because I felt so bad after I thought that I killed them all. Good memories, Fish. Good memories. Tell us more about your early childhood sociopathy. Nikki, I have good memories of Christmas with family. We all used to get together, but once the grandparents passed, it all went to crap. Well, my grandparents in Ocala, they're the hub of the family, and multiple times a year we'd get together in droves, and it wasn't the Fisher side, it's my mom's side of the family. They're passing a few years back. My brothers moved into there, and we'll go up, but it's not the same anymore. It's different. I mean, I love what they've done with the place and everything. Don't take that the wrong way, brother. Let's see. John, my childhood memories are of playing baseball every day in the rain or shine. Yes, sir. And would you be playing baseball, or would you be playing tape ball, where you take some, ball up some paper, wrap it up with duct tape, grab a broom handle or something like that? And that was the best. Corey Carter, my childhood best friend. And also the person that I think probably kept me out of, our relationship kept me out of trouble, because that's all we did, man. From the time we got home we're doing, it's either baseball or basketball or football or something. We're wrestling, fake, WWE style wrestling, always something physical. So I thought it was really cool going back to childhood memories. Let's see, I do have some news today, I think. Summer memories. Again, back at the Fisher farm, which, by the way, the name of my LLC is Fisher Media Farm, a little nod to where I come from, Fisher Media Farm. So one of the cool memories coming from that time where I didn't kill something, almost did, but didn't. I was 8 or 9 years old. And I'd grown up hearing stories of my father learning how to drive a tractor at 4. Well, hell, at 8 years old, I'm way behind the game. So I was one of those kids that was very curious, and I'd watch, whatever an adult was doing, I'd try to, I'd watch them, and if they were, I'd try to figure out the technology they were, whatever. Usually break it when I would get my hands on it, but, So one day, everybody's up around the corner, and I'm in the pole barn. Is that what they called it? Pole barn? Is that right? Where they keep all the tractors. And there was this old ass tractor, going back to the 40s. that was little, it was easy to drive. So I thought, and I thought I was getting ready to impress all the adults. I fired this thing up, pull out of the barn, pull up onto the road there, and I have to go up the road, make a left, up another road, make a right, head down. So, and I'm just filled with pride that at 8 years old, I figured, I'm driving this thing, and I'm thinking of my dad at 4 years old, heading up the other road, and I start coming down where everybody is, and next thing you know, I'm approaching a bridge. Now, when I say bridge, I'm talking about some pipes, right, that are, I don't know, like this big that they lay across, and you can see through down to the creek below. And the bridge is not a bridge where it's like the public drives over. This is in somebody's driveway, right? And it's very narrow. You can easily go off the edge. So I'm coming down, coming down this driveway now, and all of a sudden I see all the adults, including my parents, my grandmother. I don't remember if she was there or not, but I'm sure an aunt or an uncle or two were there. And all of a sudden, the look on their face as they're running towards me, waving, it didn't match up with the feeling I had inside. I thought they would turn. You know what? It's like the Red Ryder BB gun thing, right? In a Christmas Story, where he thought was he going to write that essay and his teacher would understand, and she gives him an F or a D or whatever it was and says, "You'll shoot your eye out, kid," and gives it back to him, right? It's not what he thought that was not the response he thought he was going to get. Same thing with Santa Claus. Well, that was not the response I thought I would get. Before I got to that, no, actually I did get over that bridge, and when they got to me and stopped me and yanked me off of there, and then my memory goes blank. I'm sure I got whooped. But I do actually know. I do remember them going, that bridge could have. It's not built for tractors. That bridge could have collapsed. And I went, but it didn't. Not a good argument. Rhonda Lee, how are you doing? Every summer we went to Cherokee and Gatlinburg, tubing, fishing in the rivers. Oh, that's awesome. Great memories. Good for you. Yeah. Yeah, wandering the creeks, and I like if I have kids and they're in the same, I don't know that I would let my kids roam free the way that my parents let me roam free, because my brother and I started 2 stampedes with cattle back then. Well, Jason started one, the other one I don't think we started. We just happened to be in the path of. The one that we started, Jason started. We're out in the pasture there. And for some reason, he picks up a rock and just tosses it out in the middle of them. Guess we're kids. That's what you do. You throw rocks at things. You poke things with sticks to see what happens then. Well, next thing you know, there was and they all started coming our way. We were pretty close to a barbed wire fence, and I go over the fence. He jumps through the fence, catches his pant leg on it. I'm dragging him through the fence so he doesn't get crushed. Good time, great memories. But I look back at all that stuff and think about the dangers that go along with it. And I understand how come most of you people are helicopter parents these days. All right. Well, here's what I'm going to do, because I'm going to wait for Chris to come in, and he should be here like in 10 minutes to start talking about the Wake.Show. Because like I said, there's a part of me that thinks that this is the last show. This is the last Wake.Show. But I guess also deep down there's a hope that this will manifest in a different way. Did I ever tell you guys about one of the ideas that I had for the Wake.Show? And the Wake.Show, the Wake You Make. The Wake You Make is something that Cords came up with. And so one of the ideas, I'll just throw this out here for you guys to chew on until Chris gets here. So one of the ideas that I had for the possible future, this was about a month ago, is we turn the Wake.Show into a weekly show, once a week, and it's focused on the Wake You Make. And so at the time, because Chris and I were both doing the show, I thought, okay, so it's Chris and I, we go out into the community, and each week, independently, we talk to somebody, interview somebody that is, doing things in the community, and is leaving a positive wake. And, just have an interview, talk to him about it. We bring those together once a week. We talk about the wake we made in the past week. So Chris and I would also do something in the community. I said, we'll turn it into a competition or something like that. But Chris wasn't too keen on the competition part of this thing, but I still think that there might be a future where the Wake.Show becomes a weekly show where maybe just one host, and I don't know if it's me or if it's a Chris or maybe some of the people we've had on the show, like Steve or Ferris or Pat Largo, where we get a host, make a deal with a new host, and basically turn it into that. But it's just one host going, all right, talking about the past week. It's an interview style show. And that host also is out in the community doing something once a week as well, where you follow along. So something like that. So the Wake.Show has a future as the Wake, the Wake you make. Maybe. We'll see. If that's happening, that probably not, it won't be relaunched in 2 weeks. So what's the show that I think I'm planning on doing? Well, I told you it's where I am right now is, daily, Monday through Friday. Random conversation starter kind of a thing, something light that's always a part of it. Stuff you should know, and maybe stuff you should know is not even something where I'm going through the headlines and talking about the stuff you should know that day, because it's just so easy to get derailed and get bogged down. So maybe that's the ticker, that rolls along the bottom here is stuff you should know will pop up and you'll just see headline, as we talk about other things. The idea that I shared with you, I believe, is the fisheye news or fisheye view. So I go pull 5 to 10 stories a day that are not horrid, that are like, oh, okay, just some fun, either things to talk about that's going on that don't include left-wing, right-wing stuff, or death, or drowning your own children in the Hillsborough River. Stuff like this. Casting call announced for a Disney movie. So I'll go over some of these details, but think it back to your child. Like this. If there is a Disney movie you wish you could have been a part of, wish you would have seen the casting call back when and been a part of. Wait, are there? I guess it'd just be lending your voice because all I can think of is animated stuff. But here we go. Casting call announced for a Disney movie film. Out of Savannah. I was hoping it was going to be local. If you're willing to take a little drive, you could be the next Disney star. Central Casting announced an open casting call for extras for the upcoming Disney movie being filmed in Savannah. The movie, with the production title Goodbye Stranger, is a love story set in the 1910 era. The casting calls are scheduled next week, August 11th. And they are looking for people to portray all ethnicities and ages. You will be paid for your time and no fees or experience is required. So you just go be an extra in some old movie. What would it be? I guess any of them. Any of them would be cool. I don't care. It'd be a cool experience no matter what. Be a lost boy in Hook. Yeah, that'd be cool. How will we know what you are going to do? Well, I'll let you know because I'll make posts on the Wake.Show. We'll make posts here and also share it with friends. You can just text me. But yeah, so the plan is, as it stands right now, like I said, man, I need to really remove myself from all of this for a week. This has been a huge part of consuming my life since last November, which is right after I got let go from my last gig. And so there's a lot of, if I can, breathing that I need to do over the next week when I can. So I will say, as it looks right now, Sharon, we will fire back up, not necessarily the Wake.Show, something under a different name, on August 20th, Monday, August 20th. That is where my head is right now. But I might get 3-4 days into this, or middle of next week, and just have a complete, have a vision, have an epiphany. Oh, there it is. It was right there all along. And we'll figure it out. And Sharon, I'll tell you what, you'll be one of the first people I text. How about that? You're right. I'm not good at texting back, but I'll make sure that I do my best. Hey, Sharon, wasn't it you that warned me about hand sanitizer once? Wasn't it you that told me not to use so much hand sanitizer because then, the bacteria gets, adapts? because today hand sanitizers are losing kill power against this germ in hospitals. It's one particular germ. In hospital, one bacterial series is becoming increasingly tolerant to the alcohol used in hand sanitizers. Globally, hospitals use isopropyl or ethyl alcohol-based disinfectants such as the hand rubs, which is the stuff that most of us use, the little squirt stuff, and those kind of things. These are all the same active ingredients found in hand sanitizers available for personal use and at schools. But that does not mean you should be giving them up. It does not mean you should be giving them up. This particular bacterium resides in our guts, but if encountered in a hospital, it can cause various complicated infections affecting the abdomen, skin, urinary tract, and blood. It's always good to put urinary and blood in the same sentence. So the future of this show will not include sentences that have urinary and blood in the same sentence. Which ranks, so the particular bug is a member of the Enterococci family, which ranks as the 4th and 5th leading causes of sepsis. A life-threatening bloodstream infection. Many hospitals. So anyway, Sharon, was that you that told me about that once? Because I've heard that before, too. Yes, it makes your immune system not work. Elliot says, I want to see you do a show where you handle dangerous animals. I am a dangerous animal, Elliot. Many hospitals with acquired infections have decreased or been kept in check by Australia's strict hygiene. Anyway, so it's becoming immune to this. And listen, Sharon, if you're bathing in that bacteria or you're bathing in that stuff multiple times a day, then maybe you're right. But I think just using the hand sanitizer on your hand is probably okay. Also, we overthink this stuff, honestly. We get freaked out because we see all these stories about how there's germs everywhere, and there's more germs in your kitchen than there is in your toilet, and including salmonella and this and this and this. But the fact is, we are germ factories. We have a symbiotic, if I said that word right, relationship with bacteria. Without bacteria, we die. The bacteria in our guts dictates some of our urges. But we're trying to purify everything, aren't we? Back to purification, making the perfect this or the perfect that, and you can't do it. So recently, do you guys use antibacterial soaps when you are doing your dishes? Because recently, I'm looking at the soap that we use, and I realize it's just soap. And I immediately had a visceral reaction. And I was like, honey, this is an antibacterial. And she looks at all, none of it is. And we don't have the hand soap in the house. I know it's not antibacterial. Why do we even have it? Because it smells good. Because the bottle smells good and matches the bathroom. So anyway, I got a little annoyed for a second, right? I'm like, I can't believe that because I cook chicken almost every single week. I'm cutting pork and chicken on these, and I'm thinking I have not been cleaning these things, and we don't throw everything in the washer. We hardly ever use the washer. So it's a rub down with not enough hot water and no antibacterial soap. So I'm going, what is going on? And then I sat there and went, well, I haven't been sick since I don't know when. I haven't had a cold since I don't know when. And I'm sitting here thinking there's something wrong with our system. And then I think back before we were all paranoid about antibacterial this and that. Wow. We seem to be prospering as a species, even though we're not putting antibacterial soap on everything. And who knows in the end? I started drinking after my wife because she is incredibly healthy. Rarely, if ever, gets sick. And I, at the time we first started dating, I was somebody who was sick a lot. Now, granted, after I left radio, and specifically that building, a lot of those allergies and the hacking attack and all that stuff really dropped by like 80%. But still, I felt like I'd get a sinus infection more often. I'd still get 1 or 2 a year, and this and this and this. And I wonder if because my wife also leaves half-drink stuff around the house, glasses of water. And so I just started finishing them. Honey, I don't know if you're watching or not, but Here's something you didn't know. So I've been finishing her drinks, mainly because I don't want, well, a couple of reasons. And one of them is I wonder if that will help my immune system. I don't know if it did or not. All I know is that I am a lot healthier and have been over the last couple of years than I had been years prior. I don't know if it had anything to do with that, but I'm just throwing it out there. All right. Happy birthday, Gailey. Happy belated. And so, yeah, so I thought that by now we would have other players in place, and then we get right to the mugshot game because I have to leave. I have a meeting with a bride at 1 o'clock, so I will not be able to extend the show too much today. Son of a. I would imagine Chris is almost here. Cord said he might wander. He said he might wander up. Well, maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. Just me and you. Maybe this is the last show. And it ends like this. Just you and me. Used to be together. I'm not even sure if those are the right words. Mm-hmm. Do you guys, do anything special for your birthday? Are you somebody that looks forward to your birthday every single year? As the month gets close, you start getting excited. You plan some things maybe. I wasn't one of those for the most part until 30. And then that's when I decided to wake up. That's when I decided to wake up in a city I'd never been to before on my birthday. So from 30 to 39, I was in a different city every single year for my birthday. Then once I got in my 40s, I really didn't care. I take it back. I learned something from my 30s, and instead of just as my birthday got close going, whatever, I don't care, whatever happens, happens, I would, consciously go, I shouldn't just poo-poo that. What do you want to do, kind of a thing. And so my birthday is coming up next week, and we're going to have a housewarming / little get-together at the house. And I really didn't. I wanted to make it more of a housewarming. I've been fighting for a housewarming party for a little bit, but we decided to combine it, make it a housewarming and a birthday celebration next week. No gifts. No gifts. So do you look forward to? Are you one of those? You have a birthday week when it's your birthday week? It's like every day there's something special? To each his own, that kind of stuff. Oh, man. Hey, I'm about to lean back. My back's been killing me all week. I'm going to lean back this way a little bit. Chat it up. Gailey, how did you spend your birthday? It was yesterday, day before? Happy belated. Maybe this is what the Wake.Show will become. A place where I relax, lay back, close my eyes, and talk about the issues of the day. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to just go ahead and get to the shame game. All right, let's get to the shame game. Wanted to wait for Chris to get here, but I'm not sure when he's going to get here, and it can take forever. So let's get to the shame game. Welcome to the Shame Game, ladies and gentlemen. This is our weekly game where we pull out all of our prejudices, our biases, and we judge people that are about to be judged by the justice system here in America. So that's how we justify what we're doing. But there's a reason we do this. We don't do this just because we want to judge. It's because we know it's a part of us. We can't help it sometimes. We want to be better people. So here's what we do. On Fridays, we line up these 5 photos. These are all people who have been arrested and their mugshots. We're going to judge them based on their mugshots and then click on it and see what they really did. And then at the end, we will all learn something about ourselves and our personal biases and prejudices. First up, what do we got here? Let me do a little split screen action here. We'll do this. All right, first up, this gentleman here. He is not happy. I can't even come close to pronouncing his name. Man. I have have no idea. I have nothing. Let's go with this guy. Oh, you know what? He was pulled over. It's something simple. He was pulled over and he doesn't have a license or ID. So it's going to be something in that. Nope. Trespassing property other than structure fencing. All right, so let's see what this is. Whoops. We'll click on it and see what more there is to it. Well, we do know as far as scars go, he has one on his leg and nothing else there. So does that last thing fencing? So trespassing property other than structure slash fencing. I don't know. All right, so trespassing it is. I'm glad I didn't go something, too serious on the guy. It ends up just being trespassing. All right, this gentleman, let's see, a little down his luck. There's some shame in his face. There's some shame. Like that guy there, he's angry that he got trespassed. This guy knew whatever he did was wrong. Looks like he's seen some stuff. He was trying to buy crack. And we click on it. Trespassing property other than same thing as this guy. Maybe they were hanging out together. Does fencing, that little thing parenthetically that says fencing, does that mean they were trying to sell stolen goods? All right. Well, those two gentlemen there were hanging out. Which brings us to this gentleman here. The shame game. What did this guy do? He's got that who me look on his face. Shaved. Let's see. Nice cut. All right, so he's recently out of prison. Violation of probation. Here we go. Violation of probation, and I don't even know what that is. Hold document number C12079, Liberty Psi. What the? Let's see if we can find anything over here. I think what it is because we've got let's see, scars, Every single one of these, none of these have given us anything. Charged at a sentence to doc, other, I don't know, arrest type other. Hold doc, I don't know what this means. Hold doc. I think that Hillsborough County, TampaBay.com mugshots, or however this works, is onto our game, and is not going to allow us to have any more information, or the information that we used to be able to have. All right, now this gentleman here. Let's see. He got pulled over on a riding lawnmower with a bottle of Jack Daniels in his hand. And that you can't, or a horse. He was either on a horse with a bottle of Jack Daniels or on a lawnmower, hammered. Well, another one, another. Of operating while. Okay, so he was operating some kind of a vehicle while his license was suspended. Could I still be right? I don't know. And lastly, let's see here. Looks like his beard is cut nice, not bad here. I'm going to go with DUI. Simple DUI. Driving while license suspended or revoked. Sorry, Corey, for pegging you for a DUI there. Knew it was something in the vehicle. It's the best we can do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's our game, the shame game for today. Well, the shame. Whoops. What the? Oh, well. There's the shame game for today. Let me go back to my text because I could have swore Chris said he was going to make it, but maybe those last couple of texts. All right, so he said probably around 12:15, waiting for babysitter, and then I go, cool, I'll have to be wrapped up with the show by 12:40 because I have a meeting with a potential bride at 1. He says, absolutely, don't wait on me. Okay, I'm firing it up now. See you when you get here. Cool, have fun. It's just, and then he said, cool, have fun with it. So maybe if that last one, we're a little miscommunication, and he was thinking, I was like, listen, I got to be out of here at 12:40 anyway, so, don't worry about it. And maybe he's not coming in. Because listen, I appreciate all the time you guys have invested into the show. into the Wake.Show and everything that we've done here. It's been a learning process. What have I learned? I'm not sure yet. That will come to me in the next week or two. There is an exciting future ahead. I don't know exactly what it looks like yet, but I'm excited about it. Well, I'm not going to just keep babbling. So thank you so much for being a part of the Wake.Show today. That'll be it for this, at least for the time being. And like I said, I got a couple of ideas for this. I have hope that there will be a version of the Wake.Show that continues. But I'm also going to focus on a couple of other things. And then one of those is going to be the next news show we're going to do in coordination with Bake More Pies and Chords here. So thank you so much for the support. I love you guys. Really appreciate everything. And and if you're countryside, so tonight, Sharon, I'll be doing Maple Lanes tonight. If you want to come out and do some cosmic bowling from 10p to 2a, I'll be playing the music, giving away prizes every 15 minutes. That is tonight at Maple Lanes. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and we will talk soon.